Let me ask you something. What if your software maintenance wasn't just another cost on a spreadsheet, but was actually your company's secret weapon? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into today. We're talking about perfective maintenance, a huge shift in thinking that goes way beyond just fixing what's broken and starts turning your tech into a real engine for growth. So, let's set the stage here. We need to talk about a problem that pretty much every leader feels, but maybe can't quite put their finger on. It's this hidden drag on your business, and it comes from software that isn't crashing, but it isn't exactly flying either. So yeah, let's just ask the question straight up. Is the software that you rely on every day, the stuff that technically works, actually holding your business back? You know, we all get conditioned to think about software in black and white terms. It's either up or it's down. But the reality, it's so much more complicated than that.
I mean, does any of this sound familiar? Reports that take an eternity to load. A user interface that just feels clunky, like it's from another decade. You've got teams getting frustrated, and maybe the worst one of all, you have a game-changing idea for a new feature, and you're told it's going to take months to build. Look, these aren't system failures in the traditional sense. They're opportunity costs. And trust me, they add up fast.
This is exactly where Perfective maintenance comes into the picture. It is the direct answer to that hidden drag. It's all about proactively, and that's the key word. Proactively evolving your software to be better, to be faster, and to be more valuable, even when nothing is technically broken. It's about making that crucial shift from asking, hey, does it work, to asking, how well does it work for our business?
Here's a really simple way to think about it. A functional asset, that's like your standard family car. It gets you from point A to point B, it does the job. But a performance asset, that's a Formula One race car. It is engineered from the ground up to win. Perfective maintenance is what tunes your software engine. It's what turns it from just a passive tool into an active engine for growth.
Okay, so to really understand where Perfective fits in, you have to see the whole landscape. Most leaders, they tend to only focus on the firefighting, the emergencies. But in reality, there are 4 totally distinct types of maintenance.
So let's break it down. We'll start with the one everyone knows, corrective maintenance. This is your mechanic fixing a flat tire. Something broke, you fix it. Purely reactive. Then you've got adaptive, which is like a chameleon. It's changing to fit a new environment, like an OS update or a new regulation. But here's where the real value is, in the proactive types. Perfective, that's your performance tuner, actively upgrading the engine to get a strategic edge. And preventive, that's the health checkup, like changing the oil to make sure you don't have problems down the road. So, what does a truly healthy system look like? Well, this is your target right here. More than half, 55% of your team's time and energy should be spent on perfective work, proactively building value. Now, if you look at your team and they're spending most of their time on corrective, firefighting, that is a massive red flag that you've got some serious underlying problems, usually what we call technical debt.
Now let's get real for a second and talk about the cost of just ignoring all this. The price you pay for settling for software that's just good enough. It's absolutely staggering, both in terms of money and operations.
$2.41 trillion. Just let that number sink in. That is the estimated annual cost of unaddressed technical debt for companies in the US alone. This isn't some small line item for the IT department, okay? This is a gigantic business risk that absolutely crushes innovation and leads to major operational failures. And hey, it's not just about the internal costs of tech debt. There's also the massive external cost of a poor user experience. It's a silent killer of your revenue and customer loyalty. But on the flip side, if you get it right, the potential return is just enormous.
No, that is not a typo. 9,900% for every single dollar you invest in making your user experience better, you can expect to see a return of $100. This is, without a doubt, one of the highest ROI activities any business can possibly undertake.
I mean, just look at this comparison. It's so stark. That tiny little investment on the left, it generates that enormous return on the right. Focusing on how your customers and your teams actually interact with your product isn't an expense. It's one of the biggest opportunities you have, period.
And believe me, the stakes are incredibly high. Get this, 88% of users are less likely to ever come back after just one bad experience. And nearly a third of customers will ditch a brand they otherwise love after a single frustrating interaction. But look at the upside. A great user interface can boost conversions by up to 200%. The link between user experience and your bottom line, it's direct and it's undeniable.
Okay,
So we've laid out the problem, we've seen the opportunity. Enough theory. How do we turn this into a practical, actionable playbook that leaders can actually use? Let's dive in.
First off, this isn't about random guesswork. It's a disciplined, repeatable process. You identify what needs to be improved, maybe from user feedback or performance data. Then you analyze the impact, design a smart solution, build it, test it, and deliver it. It's a constant cycle of improvement.
Now this, right here, this is probably the most powerful tool for any leader in this conversation. The impact/effort matrix. It completely changes the game. It takes you out of technical debates and puts you into strategic business conversations. You laser focus on the quick wins, the high-impact, low-effort stuff, and you plan those bigger projects strategically. And just as important, it helps everyone see and avoid the money pits. This is how you align the entire team on creating real business value.
A question I get all the time is, this sounds great, but how does it actually fit into our Agile sprints? It's a perfect question. And the answer is, you have to formally integrate it. You don't treat this like some extra chore you get to if you have time. You make it part of the plan from day one.
And the most effective way to do that is what's called the 15-20% rule. You formally set aside about a fifth of your development capacity in every single sprint, specifically for code-base health, refactoring, and other Perfective tasks. This makes it a non-negotiable. It ensures you are constantly paying down your technical debt and investing in the future, not just piling new features on top of a shaky foundation. All right, let's bring this all home. The choice that every single leader is facing in this digital economy is, well, it's pretty stark. It's not about standing still, it's about moving forward, or you will get left behind.
The reality is really this simple. In today's digital economy, stasis is decline. If your software isn't evolving and improving, you aren't just standing still. You are actively falling behind your competition. Inaction is no longer a neutral choice. It's a choice to let somebody else win.
So here it is, your immediate action plan. 3 simple steps. First, go ask your tech team to measure your current maintenance mix. Find out, are you firefighting? Are you building value? Second, run a formal health check. Put some real numbers on your technical debt and your user experience. And third, bring that impact/effort matrix into your very next planning session and shift the entire conversation to focus on business value.
And so we end right back where we started, with one final question for you to think about. Is your software just a passive tool that gets the job done, or is it a strategic weapon actively helping you win in the market? The choice and the opportunity is yours.